We're recording. Welcome to the Social Media Winter Bootcamp for 2017. I am your host, Jonathan Christian. And I have a story to tell you. For those of you who don't know me, my wife left me in a good way. She's gone away for 3 weeks with one of our children. And it's a funny story, but she does not let me get away without shaving. So my wife's not here. So I'm not shaving. And I feel really, really scruffy. So you'll have to forgive me if I look a little scruffy. But it's like, why not? Who's going to tell me off? She's in Australia. I had some Facebook messages coming in about this bootcamp. So let me just see what people are saying to me. With me a second. Haven't received the link to join. We are ready now. When do you start? We're live. It's on the top of the page. There we go. Somebody's in the chat box already. Yeah, she knows. She'll see my pictures as this scruffy growth grows, but that's okay. Hopefully people are joining us now. Oh yeah, lots more people joining us now. That's awesome. You can either keep your camera on, you can mute it. I've got everybody muted right now. Just make sure I've got everybody coming in, because first time around, it's always a little bit confusing for people to make sure they know how to get into the group. I'll just double check that everybody's, I don't leave anybody outside the group because they can't find a way in. But there's a great big link right there. Maybe I'll just copy the link again into the group just so people can see it. Give me 1 second, because I seem to have other people hovering in that group over there. Okay, and one more time. That's it. Bear with me, folks. Host. And more people wanting to join the group. Stay on this page. Okay, that's it. And then, my goodness. All these people suddenly jumping in the group right at the last second. Okay. There we go. All the group requests are done, so we should be in good shape. Awesome. Yes, growing nicely. So my intention over the next 5 weeks is to make you as close to being a social media superstar as is possible in 5 weeks. We may not achieve the whole package, but you're going to be a lot closer than you ever were. And as I say, my goal is to teach you as much as I can. I've been teaching social media since 2008, so I've been around a little while. And the reason we do it on a Tuesday and a Thursday is that I teach on Tuesdays and we have more fun on Thursdays, where we do more teaching on Thursdays, but it's under what we call AMA, which is where you can ask me anything, and we put people into hot seats. And through that, we have a ton of fun. So third time we've run it. I think I'm getting it together now. And I'll explain as we go through. But basically, I'm going to take you on a journey. If you have any questions, there's a chat box right here, which you'll see in the box. When I'm in screen share mode, I don't normally answer the questions because I don't want to keep coming in and out. So if you have an urgent question, just drop it in the Facebook group and that'll pop up on my phone. Other than that, as soon as I come back, the questions will be there and I'll run right through them. And our intention is to be done by 3. I don't leave at 3, but if anybody has somewhere else to go at 3, then you'll be able to do that. So what I'd like to do is just say welcome to everybody. Let's just see all these smiley eyes. Gurjeet, Kelly's here, Jennifer's here, Lydia, Nishal. Client's iPhone, that's interesting. Leonard's here. Oh, this is awesome. Hi, old neighbor. Oh, there's Eileen. There's Anne. Kelly, you're making me thirsty now. Cheers. Oh, great. That's awesome. So we've got 12 people in the room now. That's great, and it'll keep growing. So based on that, I'm gonna mute I'm gonna manage everybody and mute everybody. So don't worry about that. So you're all muted. And then I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna take you on a bit of a journey, and then we'll come back and we'll chat. So Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Can I get a thumbs up from somebody? Yep, awesome, great, thank you for that. I'm just gonna do that and then drop that down, drop that over and bring that up. And let's go. Awesome. Magic. Perfect. So we teach social media on one hand. I try and make it as simple as this. So I call it my 5 E's of social media. And the first E, which is the Facebook thumbs up, is people need to know who we are. More than anything else, before we get to anything else, we have to do a good story so that people can understand what it is that we do, how we do it, and how they can get in touch with us. So the day is literally about that, learning to tell your story in such a way that people can say, I got it. So this is my sandbox. These are all platforms that we play with different clients. So Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, Facebook Live, House, if we do a lot of construction work, Meetup, which is a live meetup, hashtags we'll go into a lot, Pinterest we're not covering off in this course, but we can talk about it a little bit. Podcasting, again, I'm not covering in this course, but we can talk about it. I've just used the MailChimp logo there, but any kind of email marketing, and of course the YouTube video. So we'll talk a lot more about video during this course too. So that's the sandbox. You don't have to be on every single platform. You probably need to be on at least one, and probably Facebook. Well, no, there's no probably, definitely Facebook. But after that, as we get deeper, then we'll look at the other possibilities. And the one thing I want you to do right now is to just pick one horse and learn to ride it properly. And that's going to be Facebook today. So to just talk about that, we're educating our audience on who we are. We're going to look at how we entertain our audience. We're going to have some fun with this. We're going to look at how we engage our audience so that we have those two-way conversations for building up the trust. I want you to empower your audience so that they get so excited about your goods and services that they just want to buy from you. And that exciting, week 5 is so exciting because if we get the first 4 parts right, and people are going to be so excited about wanting to do business with us, it's like, bam, it's done. So that's our 5 E's. And many of you have got a couple of years life under your belt, like me. And these are all marketing tools that have been used or are still being used today. So you think of the telephone, and nowadays when you look at a cell phone that can video record, take photographs, become your database. I mean, there's a graphic you often see on social media about all the tools that we used to have before a cell phone. It's incredible. The radio we still listen to a little bit. Satellite radio is out there. We use it for sports sometimes, but not so much these days. I have one client who dropped $3,000 in advertising in November on Christmas ads just before we started talking. And then he just said it was like he could have just took that $3,000, put it in a pail in the back of his yard and burnt it, because that really didn't make any difference to his business. So unless you're a big company, same with TV, you're not going to be advertising. If you can get a TV story or a radio story for free, awesome. But we're really living on the internet. And what we have now found is that really social media and the internet are no different. We think of Google or Yahoo or all those different search engines, Bing, they're definitely there, but they're not interfaces, that they're just vessels to take you to a place. Whereas with social media now, with the advent of obviously Facebook, Twitter, and then Google+, now we're in that two-way communication. And a lot of people in my industry just refer to social media as the Internet 2.0. So many people now use social media for their search. And then we've got emerging platforms all the time. Snapchat is like huge for that millennial market. I have a lot of fun on Snapchat. So whatever that platform is that you work on, our job is to do 2 things. Our job, first of all, is to be well found. So if someone's on that platform, they're looking for you, they can find you. And you want to be well found, and you want to be found well. So if someone then arrives at your website, sees a Twitter icon, clicks on it, and you haven't tweeted for the last 4 years, that icon really shouldn't be there. So sometimes we'll get very zealous about opening up these social media platforms, but just remember to keep them updated. And if you don't use it, that's okay, hide it away. But that's where we're going to go with this. Now, we all have a story to tell, and when people find us on social media, hopefully that cover picture and that image are exactly what people need to know. So I'm going to recap my story because a lot of people on this call have never heard this, and you'll indulge me for a couple of minutes, because there's a real reason why we do this. So this is who I am. This is me holding the sign. This is my wife. Her name is Debbie, and we live in a beautiful city called Abbotsford in British Columbia, Canada. And this was like my highlight of 2016. There were many, but probably this was the most important for us, because this is the day we moved house. And you can see from the smile on my face, it's ear to ear. A couple of you have been to this house. We love it. We're very happy. It's kind of one of those homes that you grow into over an investment strategy of 4 or 5 moves. And we love it here. And this is where we work. This is where I am right now. And this picture tells a story. It's sold. It's got the name of the realtors, who are personal friends of ours, who are our neighbors actually way back in Surrey. We've known them for about 15 years. So that picture tells a story. You can see that someone just bought a house. Now, as a family, we have 3 children. And this is our eldest daughter. Her name is Gemma. She looks just like her mom. Gemma has a cool job. She works as a chief stewardess on a private super yacht. So she's not on a cruise ship. She's on a private super yacht owned by an extremely wealthy American fellow, actually in his 80s now. He's adorable. And Gemma gets to travel the world on the super yacht wherever he fancies going. This picture was taken at a cafe in Old Town, Monaco, and just before the Grand Prix there. And she has a great life. She loves it. Her name is Gemma with a G. This is my middle daughter. Her name is Ellen. She's a girl who's just come back to Australia with my wife yesterday. Ellen loves to travel too, and she loves to serve people just as Gemma does. The difference is she serves different kinds of people. Ellen works as a full-time missionary with an organization called YWAM, Youth with a Mission. And what Ellen does is she lives on support. So that means she doesn't make a wage. She literally has a newsletter that she sends out, and people send her money, or they give her stuff. They might give her somewhere to live. They might feed her. They might give her shoes. All these things have happened. But either which way, she uses social media to get a story across, not just to raise money, but to tell people the difference she's making. Gemma uses social media because she lives on a private yacht. She has an Instagram account called The Yacht Stew, and she's got followers all over the world. And then I have my youngest daughter, Maddie. And one of the great things about social media is if you never quite know how to use it, ask a teenager. And I had 3 of them. So I've been an expert by growing up in those teenage years with my 3 kids. Maddie works actually for a client of ours, New Leaf Massage and Wellness here in Abbotsford. They have a great social media presence. And so that's my kids. Why do I tell you this story? Because that is my Twitter name, @JDGEM, which stands for Jonathan, Debbie, Gemma, Ellen, and Maddie. So straight out of the gate, when you find me on social media, and you will often find photographs and posts about me and my family, you get who I am. When I get hired to work VIP with a client in their office, they get to know me anyway. So I just put my stall out straight away. And also my name, Jonathan Christian, was too long for Twitter. So it didn't work anyway. So I had to find something abbreviated. We Make Stuff Happen didn't work for Twitter. But JDGem, and this was our email way back in the 90s. We were JDGem at Hotmail. So that's my story, and that's who I am, and that's my social media branding. And we'll be talking a lot about personal branding and social media and just how important that is for you. So that's us. It's a family. We don't get together very often because of the kids traveling. This was last August. It was the first time in 4 years, would you believe, that we were all in the same place at the same time. So, of course, we had to have a photo shoot. And we call ourselves a Fam Jam in our hashtag these days. And that's part of my story. And honestly, a lot of my business success comes about through people getting to know me on social media, loving to see what we do as a family. Debbie and I have been married 30-something years. Our kids are adorable. I can say that because it's true, because they look after their mom. Whatever works, use it, my friends. But in this instance, this is me. This is who I am. And that's part of my strategy. We all have a story to tell. And my story, how I got into social media, is actually quite interesting. It happened completely by accident. I was in a very bad road accident where I badly damaged 2 discs in the back of my neck. And the only way to fix them was extensive surgery. So Len, well, when I first met Len, he had this big halo around his head when we first moved in from his accident. But I literally had my whole head almost lifted off, and they rebuilt my neck with man-made titanium discs. So this was my BlackBerry selfie from October 2009 when I was still in hospital. And thankfully it was a little blurry because I'm sure that's the way my brain was at that point. So That 2008, 2009 journey for me was horrible, mainly because the economy tanked. I was in considerable pain. I was dosed up on everything you can imagine. And then I had to have surgery. Not a good cocktail for making good business connections. So I literally started social media because I needed to stay in touch with people because I couldn't physically meet them. So I started a blog called My Social Media Challenge, and it was very much me challenging myself to stay accountable. And I started writing for a fellow called Neil Godden in a magazine called Marketing Dangerously. And I wrote every week about what is Facebook, what is Twitter, what is Meetup. And that blog is now 273 episodes long, and I'm still on that social media learning curve. So I'm always learning. And the past couple of years, I've worked with some very big names in social media, and Sandy Kakowski has over 2 million followers daily on Facebook. My friend Marcus Sheridan down there in a Canada jersey that I bought him, probably one of the top content marketing strategists in the world for SEO. Over to the left is a dear friend of ours, Lisa Sasevich, and Debbie and I are in a mentoring program, and it's called Year-Long Mastermind, or it's actually a 3-year journey that we're on, all about learning to, and that's why I'm doing this actually, because I used to teach people one-on-one, and through Lisa's mentoring, I've turned my model into a one-to-many, and this is how I've been able to grow my business, because I get to deal with a lot of people all at the same time and have a ton of fun, and it's awesome. So based on that, over the last 8 years, I put together what I call my dream team. And as a company, we build websites, we do personal branding, we do training, we do hands-on strategy, and pretty much whatever you need in the marketing field, we have somebody on our team that's really good at that, from databases to photography, to video, to social media, to obviously website design, SEO, and just the overall strategy of the business. This is what we do, and we love to do it, and we're really busy, and it's awesome, and I spend $0 on advertising because all of our business comes through our social media. So, you know, what they say is those that can't teach, those that can do, and no disrespect to teachers, but we speak very much from experience because we're constantly working with about 20 different businesses at any given time, finding out what works for their industry. And we cover so many industries, from healthcare to professionals to construction to entrepreneurs to retail. So we know what works because we're doing it every day. So I'm not teaching hypothetical stuff. I'm teaching from the trenches. And because of that, we know it works. So when you look at, I'm going to have a Starbucks moment for a second here. Hope you've all got a nice beverage to keep with it. This is a company that doesn't even need to have its name on its logo anymore for one particular reason. They have got their offering, their customer service, everything they do down to a fine art. So much so, if you buy a beverage, you taste it, it doesn't taste what you expected, it's too cold, too hot, not what you wanted, they will get you another one for free, guaranteed. And what I try and do with my clients is I try and get you to become the Starbucks of your industry, so that people know that when they walk through your shop door or your virtual door or find you online, they already know that the experience that you're going to give them will be consistent. And we'll talk about that as we go along, but just think of like, could you reconcile my business to the local Starbucks? Am I that consistent in my offering that people know what they want, they know how much it's going to cost, and they know they'll get a really happy return from it? Point in question. This is Nordstrom Vancouver. About 3 years ago, maybe even, they bought out the old Sears building downtown Vancouver, and they spent 2 years renovating this store. So talk about return on investment. 2 years of absolutely nothing coming in. Now it's a flagship store in Vancouver. Microsoft own the upper floors. It's an incredible building. But this is the other thing about Nordstrom. If you know the story, they started in Seattle back in the 1800s. They were a shoe store. They specialized in customer service. They specialize in mail order deliveries. If you ever go to Nordstrom or Nordstrom Rack, the service is exceptional. I mean, the prices are not the cheapest, no question about that. But it's, again, about the service. And that's the thing with our social media clients is it's all about the service. More and more companies now are putting more money into customer care and client retention than they are in marketing, because it's much easier to keep a client than it is to keep trying to find new ones But at the same time, we've got to stay in touch with our clients in a way that isn't just an email newsletter. And we've got to have such a brand online that people just love us for who we are, and they'll embrace that. Have a look at this brand. Now, so you look at these images, it tells a story, but at this point, I haven't told you who they are. So you can see people out and about, graduating, going on vacation, having a family, maybe retiring, going to university. All of these pictures tell a story. It's actually a company called Freedom 55 Financial or London Life. And I picked this deliberately because their social media is very, very good at telling a story. Now, if I was to come to you and say, I need to sell you a life insurance policy, oh my goodness, everybody would be so excited because everybody wants to buy life insurance. Not. But what they're doing, and they're so good at it, and I just picked them as an example, is they're painting a way of life that I want, that you want. That's the lifestyle that I want. And say, okay, we can do that. Why don't we have one of our advisors come meet with you and let's tailor a plan so we can get you the lifestyle that you want. And that's really a lot of social media is eye candy. It's dreaming, it's believing, it's that empowering that what you offer is going to make somebody else's life better. And no better way to do that than pictures that really capture those images. So whether you're a Nordstrom or a Starbucks or a We Make Stuff Happen, how does your brand make people feel? When they find your website, when they see your truck go by with a decal on it, get your business card, find your Facebook page, how does it make people feel? Does it make them feel happy? Does it make them annoyed that your website's not mobile friendly and they're having to spray around to sort of try and make it ready? They can't get in touch with you because there's no hot button. Whether it's happy or annoying, ideally you want people to see your brand and you want them to want it. They want, oh my goodness, that's exactly what I need. Where's the button to call them because I just found exactly what I was looking for. So based on that, when I'm racing through this is all recorded. You will get a copy of it at the end, and this will be yours forever. But what I always start off with people, it's like, what is the most important thing that you actually bring to your clients? And it's really important that we know this because there's no point of being social media if we don't know why we're there. So if your passion and your business is the same thing, awesome. If whatever it is that you do makes you want to get out of bed in the morning and work late at night because you just love to do what you do, fantastic. Delighted for you, overjoyed, overwhelmed, wonderful. If you're not doing what you love, it's going to be pretty hard to have a social media strategy that works because your very passion has to be in your strategy. So what I want to try and do is really help you bring that out over our virtual coffees where we start finding those stories and come up with ideas so that there's a lot of passion in your social media so that people can follow you through because people need your stuff. So you've probably done this, lying awake at night when you have an issue and you're looking at the ceiling and you're tossing and turning, and before you know it, your wife gets up and sleeps on the sofa because you can't sleep because your brain's going, and she can't sleep because your brain's going. What is it that's keeping you awake at night? And what is it that you need to fix that solution? A lot of people go to social media at 3 in the morning to find a solution when they can't sleep. Maybe, just maybe, you're exactly what they're looking for. And if they find you online, they go to your website, and you're already answering those questions that they need answers to, then business starts to happen. It's just so exciting. So the other thing I need to teach you about social media is this. I need you to be real. I need you to be authentic because emotional connections actually matter. We are not dealing with Autobots. We're not dealing with search engine stuff, bots, whatever you want to call it. We're dealing with people. Whether you're a brand or a one solopreneur company, people deal with people who they know, like, and trust. If I tweet Alaskan Airlines and I send a picture of my flight and I say, I fly Alaska because I get free pretzels and a beer, whatever that looks like, they'll write back and say, glad you had a great flight, Jonathan. Anything else we can do, get in touch. Sean, Allison, Andrea, whoever replies to me gives me their name. So I actually feel that I'm actually in touch with people, no matter how big the brand is. So I always want your social media to be authentic, even to the point of, is what you are writing good enough that you could put it on a t-shirt? In fact, this is me. That is my t-shirt. We gave these out to everybody in our VIP class last year. We have t-shirts made as a limited edition. You see a lot of t-shirts now with social media slogans on or memes on. So think about what you're writing, and is it good enough that you would put it on a t-shirt? Because we're used to marketing. We're used to marketing strategies. A lot of us have been a long time around here, and the campaign's complete. And then we think, oh, we should add in some social media. So my job is to say, stop the madness, time out, don't leave social media till the end of a campaign and then try and squeeze it in. Would you just do me a favor and start with social media? Because that's where it all begins. So even if you're not sure if a campaign is going to work, put it out on Facebook. Hey guys, we're thinking about running a contest and we need some help about what the prize would be. Would it be a 2-night trip to Harrison? Could it be a trip downtown Vancouver with dinner? Or could it be, you know, tickets to the Abbotsford Air Show? Just for an example, what would you rather win? People will come back and they will start giving you that feedback before you even run your contest. So not only are they giving you the right prize to offer, they're also getting excited because they know a contest is coming. So you can use your audience so very, very well. So at this point, we're 2:27. Hopefully nobody's fallen asleep. But if you put your fingers on your wrist right now and feel that blood pulsing through your veins, your heart rate probably less than mine because I'm the one with the adrenaline rush right now. But you know you're alive. And what I need your social media to become is the very pulse of your business. I want you to be able to sort of, people get to your social media and just think, holy man, that guy loves his business. He's always on video. All these posts are motivational. He's empowering. I'm hearing all these good reviews. That's what you want out of a strategy. Because my friends, you can have huge influence. I have to be really careful how I'm using the word huge right now because there's a certain politician south of the border of us who tends to use this word too, but I'm not going there because social media and politics do not mix, in my opinion. But we can have an incredible story. I mean, our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, did a tweet the other day about diversity in our culture and refugees coming to our culture. And the hashtag was Welcome to Canada. And this was actually a charity that we worked with back in 2014. They wrote a flash mob song in 2010 when the Winter Olympics were here, but it didn't go anywhere. It was good, but it didn't take off. In 2014, when the Sochi Olympics were on and suddenly Vancouver's abuzz again with the Winter Olympics, she asked us if we could help her sort of launch it again. So we took it from 200 likes to 16,000 by the end of the Olympics. This became a song that was used right across Canada through lots of the different tourism boards. And it was just a ton of fun. And it was just everything that people are proud of being Canadian. Right now, it's our 150th year of configuration. So lots to be proud of. And you have the same tools as President Trump, as Justin Trudeau, as Coca-Cola, as Oprah, as Dr. Phil, whoever else is out there on social. You can do what they can do. So let's look at some numbers here. I'm not a stats guy, but these stats matter. 80% of people are looking online before they make a major purchase. Now that could be a coaching course, it could be a software program, it could be the installation of a heat pump, it could be anything. But 80% of people are looking for reviews, not necessarily just for the product, but for the business. Whereas only 14% of people actually trust an advertisement. So if you got your ad in the newspaper or on a bus bench or on the back of a key card or whatever that might look like, you're going to be lucky if 14% of people will actually look at it and trust you for saying it. But this is my favorite number. Let's get into the world of social media. If I'm looking for a plumber and I'm new to Abbotsford, which I was, what do? I went to Facebook and said, I am looking for a guy to come and install a new dishwasher for me. Guys, who should I use? My fridge is leaking. I just moved in. I need someone to come and repair my fridge. Who should I use? I can tell you within an hour, I had more than 20 people on both of those occasions recommending good local services to me. And I hired both of those people, not because I went to the website, not because I went to the Better Business Bureau. I purely trusted the people on social media who had used them already. And it's telling us here that 78% of people trust recommendations from other consumers. So think about this. that 80% of people who are looking online, if they asked on Facebook, are most likely to buy from you because somebody else tells them that you're awesome. So where are you going to put your time and effort? Into social media, building up those customer connections, building up that rapport. And my goodness, my friends, you will have people beating down your door to buy your stuff once we get the strategy right. I guarantee it. The only time, two times, that I have not had a strategy work in 8 years was one, a funeral director, and two, a lady who does colonoscopies. We just didn't quite find the right message. The funeral director, it's a hard one. Everybody needs it. They were trying to sell land so people could buy their gravestone ahead of time. Just didn't, it was a few years ago, just didn't quite work. Maybe it would work a bit, I don't know. The lady who did this wonderful colonoscopy cleansing thing, she was Russian, bless her heart. English was definitely a second language. I just couldn't get her where she needed to be. And again, it's one of those awkward topics, but that's probably 2 out of 600. Everybody else that I've done, and we've done so many different things, has been so much fun, and it's worked. Okay, 2:30. Your mission, my friends, should you choose to accept it, is to become the very best educator in your industry around what it is that you do. We do this a lot with our VIP clients who work with them for a 4-month intensive period, and we nail this so closely down that it just becomes, this is not a mission statement, this isn't a vision statement, this isn't a value statement, this is simply this, you doing what you do so well by telling a story about it. It's called blogging, it's called videos and vlogging, all these sort of things. You need to become the very best educator, not salesperson. Let's forget sales for now. Let's just talk about education today in your industry. And then we just roll the dice. You know, whether we're writing a blog, whether people are sharing it, tweeting about it, chatting about it, making friends on Facebook, liking our posts. There are many, many ways to just roll those dice and get your message out there in such a way that people are seeing it. Because we're on a journey. For the next 5 weeks, we're on a journey together. It's going to be a challenge, and social media will always be a challenge because honestly, it keeps changing. But out of that challenge comes success. And that success comes in sort of being consistent every single day. So what I say to people is, you would not leave your house without brushing your teeth. Ladies, you probably would not leave your house without putting on mascara. I mean, these are just like you have to have, especially the teeth thing. There's actually more people that have mobile phones in this world than toothbrushes. That's kind of interesting. But think of social media right up there with mascara and toothbrushes. It's that important that it becomes that a regular part of your routine that you just couldn't spend a day without being on social media because it's like having morning breath. You just don't want it. And you don't want to not be posting on your social media. So our first job today is to really let our audience know who you are in such a way that you want your audience to like who you are. So that know, like, trust journey. So a couple of months ago, I didn't rebrand myself, but I decided to, this is from Instagram, because I have a big following. I've had a big following for a long time. But does everybody know who I am? Probably not. Even some of you on this call have never met me before, and that's awesome. Delighted to meet new people all the time. So I wrote a post. And as I say, this was Instagram. I said I've been here for a while, but in case some of you are following me and don't know me, this is who I am. So I explained who I am, what I'm passionate about, what I do in the workday, on weekends. And you can see that I got a lot of attraction. I made a video over on Facebook. It was 9 minutes long. And again, I just told my story as I told you how I got involved in social media. And this is one of my stock pictures that I use because you'll pretty much always find me with a cup of coffee in my hand wherever I am training. And there's my phone. So this is pretty much my Mason scepter, if you like, of how I do business. I just need a cup of coffee and a cell phone, and that's all I need. And I can make money. Don't always need the cup of coffee. I hydrate as much as I drink coffee. So for every coffee, I have a water, just in case Leah's listening to me because she's my coach. And if she is, she'll be smiling right now. But that's what it's all about. So when we know that, we're excited that you've joined us in this Winter Bootcamp. In fact, I'm not just excited. I am overjoyed that we've got Like 48 people or so signed up in the end today, which is just fantastic. Super happy about that. So here's what we want to do. We want to change our paradigm. So no matter what you know about social media, what you've done in the past, whether it worked or not, here's what I want you to think about more than anything else. I want you, over the next 5 weeks, to help people, not to sell to people. Because as soon as you start selling, people turn off. They need your stuff. They will buy your stuff. They will want to buy your stuff. But they're going to want to buy it because we're going to tell a story in such a way, it's so compelling that they can't not but buy your stuff. But if all we do is just say, I have a listing, I have an open house, I have this special, I have that special, whatever. That's not what people are going to social media for. They're going to social media to be entertained. It's almost like TV. I mean, I don't know about you, I PVR the few shows that I actually watch, and I never watch the commercials because the PVR and I just fast forward through. It's the same with social media. As people are scrolling down, as soon as they see an ad, they just keep scrolling until they find a post that works for them. So let's have a look at those some posts. Now, I didn't say it was going to be easy, but it's going to be fun. And I'm going to teach you how to manage this in such a way that I know you're already busy. I know you have a business to run. I know you have family. I know you have errands. I know you're trying to keep yourself in shape. So how do we make that day have social media in it? Chances are we're probably going to have to drop something in its place. We could be dropping email. We could be dropping phone calls. We could be dropping driving because we can do things virtually. So we're going to look at the balance of your day in the sessions that we go ahead and just see how we can fit that together. What we're going to do on Thursday, virtual coffee on Thursday at 10 a.m. is we're going to look at Google, and we're going to look specifically about how Google picks you up and how your website is listed, how you get reviews on Google. So I'm going to avoid that because I just want to spend time on Facebook today, but this is equally important. I want you between now and Thursday to Google yourself, take a screenshot of what it is that you see, and then share it in the group, because I want to see if your page one, if your images come up, if your website comes up, do you own a Google Knowledge Graph on the right-hand side, a ton of stuff that we'll show you. But that's some homework for today, is to Google yourself. And I'd love to see a screenshot. Make sure I make a note of that. Okay, so would we agree, yes, that we live in a social world? Love it or loathe it, these things are here to stay. Pretty much everything that happens now gets someone, there's a picture of it somewhere on the internet. Someone's taking a video. I saw a great video last night of a gentleman on a bus in the States, and the bus driver was being attacked by another passenger. He just gets his walking stick out, and he is whacking the crap out of this guy until the police came, broke a stick in the end. And it was all on video, and it went viral on social media. And I'm not advocating violence and hitting people with a stick, but you know, these are the kind of stories that are being shared all the time. So if someone's going to share your story, let's hope it's a good one, hey? Don't want to scare you away, but this is the strategy that we work with our clients when we get a little bit deeper, and we'll look at this further on in the Empower box. But really, everything starts at your website. The whole idea of social media is it's a gateway to your website. This is where your goods and services are offered, your prices are found out, your recommendations, your testimonies, everything is on your website. So what social media really does initially is it's an inbound marketing strategy to your website. But if you're fairly new and you're trying to build a business, it's actually an outbound strategy. So think of the blog as like the hub of a bicycle wheel, and that's your website. That's where all the strength is. That's where all the momentum is. Everybody we're trying to reach around us is on the rim. There might be people that we've already done business with, or people that are looking to do business with us. Now, a bicycle wheel with a hub and a rim does not work without spokes, right? So the more spokes you have on your wheel, the stronger the wheel. And it's the same with social media. The more platforms that you can set yourself up for success on, the more likelihood is that people are going to find you. But between now and then, we gotta get all these pieces together. So we'll revisit this in the coming weeks, but just to show you where we're going with this. So when they arrive at your website, the ideal scenario is that you're positioning yourself as the expert in your industry, and your website, and we'll look at this further down the road, your website tells a story that people get. and they want to buy from you just because of the website. And so we will look at this later on in the course. But really that story and having fun is what social should be about. Because if you're doing it because you have to, not because you want to, you don't like actually being social with people, you're just doing it because you're supposed to. Honestly, I don't know if it's going to work. But if you educate yourself in such a way that you have fun with it, and people are going to pick up that vibe, and they'll go. So let me tell you a story. Just another quick story. I speak a lot. One of the most favorite things that I get to do is I get to speak at children's camps every summer. And I donate a couple of weeks a year to just give away. And I get to go to the most great places. This is Grand Forks, British Columbia. And I get to speak and have a ton of fun. You can see that. This was a story that happened back in 2012. And you can see from the cloud formation, and this was my Instagram. And I took some pictures as I'm heading back to camp one afternoon. And you can see that my caption was, uh-oh, the air was heavy. It looked kind of weird. Within about 5 minutes, this windstorm blew up the valley and created massive devastation. It's called the Pines Bible Camp. And in less than 12 minutes, over 330 pine trees had snapped. You can just see the devastation was just unbelievable. And I was documenting all of this on social media. This was my cabin, people. Any other day of the week, I would have been in that cabin writing my story for that night, except this day. I got delayed in town because I was Skyping with a client. And I don't know what I would have done in the midst of this storm. With what you can see the tree right across the front, so my door wouldn't have opened, couldn't have got out. Tree right across the roof that just collapsed everything inside. Chances are it was one of those come to Jesus moments. I may not have survived this day had I been in my cabin on that day. I was able to go back a few months later, and they still hadn't fixed my cabin, but you can see, you know, where that tree was. But I felt like I was standing on that tree saying, I cheated death that day, and I'm here for a purpose. And part of that purpose, genuinely, is that I just know that my gifting and my strength is becoming like that small business whisperer, helping businesses who are either successful or struggling become even more successful through this, working with us and getting a strategy together that works. So that's what gets me up in the morning. That's what I've done for the last 12 years since I've had my own business in Canada, is help businesses be successful. Right now it's through social media, but it's still about people. And that story didn't end well. That little boy in the corner there, you'll see in the blue and white and yellow there, his name is Richard Fair. He didn't survive that storm. He was a fatality of that storm. And I had to manage that story on social media. And it was a very sad time, but out of that, we created a legacy fund for scholarships. The camp got rebuilt. Took $1.5 million worth of rebuilding. And yeah, social media is not always about happy stuff. You know, friends die, kids die, pets die, businesses fail. People are there giving virtual hugs left, right, and center. So I just want to let you know that good or bad, I'm going to be here for you. And chances are I've already been there, seen it, and done it. So let's think about it. Social media bridges the connection between people who don't know you and people buying from you. So I have not said anywhere that social media is for selling at this point. Social media is a gateway to your website. Social media is building rapport. Social media is having fun. And if you just remember that, it's a lot easier to share because you're not so stressed out. So whatever you're thinking about your business, no matter how big a dream you have, I want you to think bigger, because I guarantee you we can do even more than you can imagine. Because when people are strolling through that feed, they're not going to stop at the advert. They're going to stop at the post that engages people. So whether it's a live video from Kitamat, which is what mine was, or whatever it is, we're going to teach you how to create posts that makes people fingers stop and zone in. So Facebook is awesome. You know, it builds community. You've got engaging fans. You can now share live video. It totally builds your credibility. And we get those brand advocates who are people who are actually telling other people to buy from us. So we've got to look at, hopefully you've all got a business page. And again, on Thursday, if you haven't or you're not quite sure, we'll look at that. You need a personal page and you need a business page. Yes, you will get better engagement on your personal page because it's friends, but that's not where business happens. But link the two together, and we teach how to leverage your personal story into your business story and vice versa. But you can see the difference in pages now, that the business pages have buttons and personal pages don't get analytics. You can get advertising, you can get all sorts of things on business that you can't get with personal. So if you're just running a personal page right now, then we need to talk, because you have to have a business page. That's where business happens. So that when people find you on Facebook, they hover over your about box, they look at where you work, that where you work should pop up as your business Facebook page. This is my friend Madeline, who's now one of our sales trainers. Very much a personal page. Her and Noah just live life together and her little boy. But it's all about her business. So make sure that your personal Facebook page, ownership, employment, is your business page. And then get your business verified. Once you've got a number of likes and you've been around a while, you can get Facebook to verify your business with that gray check mark. And then people know that you're a real business. And you can see here that 52% of people are more likely to trust a brand if they're actively on social media anyway. So not only are 80% of people trusting what they're doing, but another 50% again on top of that 80% will actually buy from you if they just see you're active on social, because you're being authentic and you know, stuff's working. So we have to post. And just so you know, just because you post doesn't mean to say people see it. Facebook has this algorithm called EdgeRank, and it takes in over probably 200 factors, but the three main ones are: how often are you posting? Is it good stuff? What kind of posting are you creating? We'll look at that. When are you posting? Are you actually engaging with your clients when they're online? You'll see that Facebook Messenger for Business. And so this client often replies within an hour, or you get a green light if you can get it within 10 minutes. If people see a business page with a green light that says these people actively respond to messages, much more likelihood of people working with you. There's lots of different types of posts that we can create, and we're going to look at these in depth each Thursday, and we'll analyze them out. But here's 3 different kinds of posts. Typical one at the top there is a photograph and a comment. Yeah, that's okay. Or you can do a comment and a YouTube video, which again is okay, but it doesn't autoplay. But what we're finding now is those home run posts are when you have a comment and a video at the same time, and the video autoplays on Facebook. That's the way to do it. We're finding that almost 80% of Facebook posts that work are video, again and again. We can manage our social media. We can measure it now, so we can go into the back end. We can see exactly who our ideal client is. We can see that, in this instance, the target audience is women 35 to 44. We spend a lot of time on the social media on their phone, and you can just see how we get those reach each day is with the videos. You know, a lot of them organic. Sometimes we put a bit of money in, but it's those videos that are reaching those people, and we're getting incredible engagement. And you can see that people are responding within 5 minutes of getting a message, which is awesome. There's lots. Actually, that one's 5 hours. That's not awesome. I'm reading the wrong number there. But you can just see the background, and we'll go deep into Facebook analytics. It's not just likes anymore. We've got all sorts of different emojis, depending on where you are in the world. Some countries have got different emojis than others. We don't have the yay, but they have it in Spain and Ireland and different countries. So Facebook are always trialing different emojis, but they work really, really well. But really it comes down to a strategy. And just to close off, that strategy is built upon ROR. If people say to me, what's my ROI if I worked with you? I worry a little bit, because if you're only in social media to make money, it's kind of the wrong reason. You should be in business to build relationships, because it's those relationships that make you the money. Yes, we're not just going to, just because it's fun, we're going to do it because we want to grow our business. But if we focus on ROR, and whether it's making a video, writing a blog, commenting back to people, sharing it, creating a podcast, whatever that looks like, it's that ROR that's going to make the difference. So I'm running out of time. So I sometimes tell a story about Alan. Maybe I'll tell this story to you in a couple of days. I'm just jumping through some slides here. This is my daughter. I'll tell you that story another time. Some of you have heard it anyway. But I'm just going to do some tips to begin with for this next couple of days. The one thing that we're going to start to do is build our own community. So here's a friend of mine. He's in a garden center. He's picked up a sign and he's just took a selfie. and sharing it. And those of you with teenagers like me will totally identify with this, because teenagers know everything, right? And I just shared this picture and it got a lot of engagement because people identify with other people, you know, in the same vein. One of the best ways to get community built is to ask questions. So we generally ask a question each day, and this is one of them, you know. The biggest mistake an entrepreneur can make is, and then I was garnering questions. So it could be not planning, or, you know, going too big too soon, or prevaricating, or procrastinating, or whatever that might be. Those questions, especially if you ask them late in the afternoon, will get you a lot of attraction. Then we go into writing blogs, and we'll talk about this a bit later, but if you find yourself answering the same question twice, then that's a great topic for a blog post. And we'll show you how to write blogs and how to integrate them into your social as we go down the road. The other part too is we want to engage with people. And this is one of our clients, JD Farms. They had something for back to school. Look at the stats. We spent $20. That little dark orange line there is when we spent $20 to finish this campaign off. But prior to that, most of this was organic. They only have about 3,000 likes on their page. But they did this back to school value pack. They did it as a contest, and other people came and bought it. So it was like ready-made meals to put in the fridge for back to school, because everything gets crazy. Great snacks that kids could bring to school. 13,400 clicks, my friends, for a budget of $20. 545 shares. This is a home run post, and this is the kind of post that when we work deep with our clients, we help them create. We're going to entertain people. Earlier this month was Friday the 13th, and there was actually a flight 666 that was destined for hell. It was actually Helsinki, coming out of Denmark. And it was a real story. I found it on BuzzFeed. I shared it. It got a lot of attraction because it was pertinent to that day. We want to empower people by using quotes, whether they're our quotes or other people's. I mean, this is one that I posted actually today. Social media. I don't want you to use it to impress people. I want you to use it to impact people. And when people see these kind of quotes, they feel really good about it. As of tomorrow, you're going to get a new email from me. And those of you who have, there's different people here in different packages, but the people that in the regular paid package, you're going to be joining the We Make Stuff Happen Academy. So look out for this email tomorrow. You will log in. You'll get a password of your own. And then each of the modules that we're teaching in the Facebook group are going to be in this academy as well. And then I'm going to be able to help you monitor your progress. And I can see which units you've checked off and which ones you've worked on and when you graduate. So I'm very excited that I did mess up. I should have been able to have sent this to you this morning. But in the last group, I gave until January 31st to complete. And then, of course, we're starting on January 31st. I originally thought it might have been February 1st, but I did mess up. So I can't send you this email tonight until I close off the other academy first, but you will get this tomorrow. So look out for that. And then we'll go to questions in a second. Just so you know, word of advice. I always sort of say to people, do not put something on social media that you want your mom to see or like or read. So we all have that inside voice. We all have that desire to just express our opinion. But let me tell you this, my friends. Think twice, type once. Yes, you can have an award for keeping your mouth shut, whatever that looks like. But really, that's where we're ending today. We're thinking about creating that engagement and not putting our foot in our mouth by saying something that we wish we hadn't. So in 2017, starting today on our social media journey, we're at a new beginning, we're at a new start. I'm going to teach you a whole new mindset, a new way of focusing your social media. We're going to have great new intentions because you're going to love what you're going to do. And by the end of this 5 weeks, you are going to have new results. I guarantee it. So much so that I actually say to people, if you do the whole course and you cannot implement anything that I have taught you, let me know and I will give you 100% of your money back. So what we do each Thursday is we brainstorm and we just bring everybody else's Facebook up. We put you in what I call a hot seat, and you get that whole mastermind around you of people with ideas that might be interested in your stuff. We'll give you ideas how to leverage your stuff. So I'm excited for that. This coming Thursday. And just so you know how this works, we have 5 webinars every Tuesday, as is today, at 2 o'clock. So today was Educate. We're going to look at entertaining, engaging, empowering, and excite. That's the 5 topics. There'll be other speakers that join me. And then the virtual coffee on each Thursday will show you what that looks like. So Thursdays are at 10 a.m. And it's what we call AMA time, which is Ask Me Anything. So we'll be able to bring you through those virtual coffees, and then we'll look at that. Remind you again that the Academy is coming out tomorrow, and I am complete. So I'm going to bring everybody back up, and I want to see your smiley faces. I'm going to unmute everybody because I want to hear where everybody is from and how that was. Some of you I know, some of you I've never seen before. That's awesome.
Can I leave the meeting?
Calvin, I can see. There's Leah. There's Jennifer. There's Kelly. There's Anne. Oh, this is awesome.
We'll just
Great.
start video.
Can you all hear me okay? I'm going to take a screenshot, so give me your best smile. Thank you. I save those every week. I have an archive of screenshots of people. So if you've got background noise, you can mute yourself. But if you want to ask a question, if you've got any questions about how this course is going to roll out, then here I am. Hi, Leah. Drinking water.
Jonathan?
Yes.
Yeah, I was wondering, it's Lily and Rich. I was wondering, should we focus on the personal website or focus on the business Facebook page?
Business. Absolutely focus on your business. The whole idea behind this is to build you a custom audience that we can market to. And we will show you further down the course how to create ads. You can't create those ads on your personal page. I have a lot of people who have lost their personal pages because they did business on a personal page and they shouldn't have done. Leah had a client at 3, so she's gone already. Not that I offended her, so that's okay, got that. So yeah, no, very much focusing on business, 100%
If we
business.
can't get the login for the business, are we screwed? Should we start another business page, slightly different name?
Ideally not. Is there no way of getting it at all?
We can make postings, but it's kind of lost 3 years ago. It's oldie and moldy, and we don't know how to find that login info.
Okay. On Thursday, if you in the Facebook group, if you send me a link, I'll try and I'm pretty good at sleuthing how to fix these things.
Oh,
So yeah, we'll have a look at that.
Thank you.
No problem, Rich. Yeah. Leonard, you're looking a lot better, my friend. That's awesome. That's great to see.
Thank you.
And Eileen's at work, so I know she listens, but she can't speak. That's awesome. I have some feedback for you about your cards, by the way. Remind me to do that. So yeah, there's Mr. Calvin over at Sutton. There's some other people from Sutton. That's great. There's Jennifer from Back to Drake.
Hello.
Hello. There's Kelly. Kelly, where do you live?
In Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You could be the furthest one away for us today, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, I think everybody else in the room is in Canada.
Yeah.
But you're close.
Welcome. Kelly and I are in the same mastermind together.
Jonathan, I got a question for you. So can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
So you mentioned about, we were talking about business and personal pages and how people have lost personal pages because they posted business stuff. And I know there is kind of a way to, share your stuff or whatever. You have kind of like a quick and dirty about what not to on your personal and
Yes.
what you always need to on your business?
Yes. So first of all, just by having a business page helps you out. You're only going to lose your personal page if someone complains. So again, make sure you're not putting stuff out there. So I'll give you an example. I was working with a print shop a couple of years ago, and they had a bake sale for a pet charity. And they had a business page that they hardly ever used because they said that nobody really engaged in it. So they had this bake sale, and every hour, a local business donated cakes or pies or whatever, and then they were taking bids. So it was really good. It was for a local charity. But it got a little too much because your newsfeed was just stuffed full of bake sales at Jewel Links Design and Print. So much so that someone said, I'm kind of ticked with this. And she just reported them to Facebook. The page was taken down mid-auction and they lost everything. What they really should have done, they should have been posting everything over on, and of course it's a print shop. So you can't be friends with a print shop anyway, realistically, and I did tell them that. So you have to start all your sale posts from your business page first and then share it over to your personal page. Then you're 100% fine. I had a friend who had did an auction for something and then he had a few items left. And he said, I'm giving away a bike and some tickets to a show. Just tell me on Facebook, you know, why you should win the bike. And he did it on his personal page. And again, somebody complained, he had his Facebook page taken down because he was giving away a bike, but he was soliciting business effectively on his personal page. So the main thing is just be sensible. Just put it on your business page first and then share it. And I do this so much. And it works. I mean, I have 20,000 likes and I have 2,500 friends, but I get way more engagement on my personal page. I know that. You have to find that balance, but you have to be safe. And Facebook can take you down.
If you're sharing something, but you're writing a post above the share, can you put your web page or anything there, like as long as you're sharing your page, or do you not want to have it in the shares?
No trouble at all. Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll go through my examples on that on Thursday, you know, in a different way.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Jennifer, how did your trade show go on the weekend in Chilliwack?
It went really well. Got lots of talking to customers and stuff like that. We didn't book any actual calls from it, but we have had calls to the office from it already.
So they had this big rubber fish tank, if you like, no, like paddling pond full of little rubber ducks. And they actually had a character like dressed as a rubber duck walking around the trade show. They had a Facebook contest to win a water purification blue cylinder thingy. This was people liking and sharing the page, right?
Yep.
And business sounds like it's getting done. I know we were very late in the game talking about how you could promote it, and you've got another show coming up soon, so we'll talk more about that one. But sounds like, I mean, I saw your videos; they were fun. I think that guy in the duck costume needs a bit more practice about how to see out of it or something, or whoever that was. But
it was my children that were in the duck costume.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. I like
It's a family business, right?
Absolutely. Tap to Drain in Chilliwack, but covering the whole of mainland, right? Awesome. Okay. Any other questions for today? Good, Jeet.
Yes, how do you get your web page verified?
Your Facebook page?
Yeah.
So in the settings, if you go to the settings, there's one of the tabs is called page verification. And providing you've got over 50 likes, which you have, Facebook, sometimes, it depends. Sometimes they'll just give it to you immediately. Sometimes they might want to send a message to a cell number, and the cell number has to relate to the number on the page. Sometimes you have to send a scan of a company, certificate of corporation. Depends on Facebook on the day and how well they feel that they know you, but it's not hard to do. Yeah, and they'll tell you what you need to, just page verification in the settings.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Gurjeet has a business called Joyous Childbirth. That's something like Joyous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joyous Childbirth.
Thank you. I was right first time.
Yeah.
Agree with me. So very much working in the local Surrey community, working with mums to go through that childbirth in a joyful, wish should have been around 20 years ago, my friend. She's a professor at the local university, and now she's taking that skill and making a business out of it on top of that. So very exciting. Len I'm saying Len up in my top corner here because that's where my screen is, but concrete truck driver and was in a bad accident, and now he's running his whole series of how-to courses for people who have those twirly concrete trucks and whatever that word is, you know what I mean, the ready mix, and teaching people how to make a business out of owning a truck and sort of turning it through. And excited to see those videos that Len's been making and develop that out into the world. So it's cool. It's such a
Thanks, Jonathan.
You're welcome, my friend. Broad spectrum of people. Kelly, I'm not sure I know what your business is.
So I work with entrepreneurs that struggle getting paying clients, helping them with the sales conversation. So I help people actually develop a sales process specific to their business. So
I've got so much feedback coming on now. Hang on, let me mute everybody, and then I'll unmute you, Kelly. Hang on a second. Mute everybody, because I can't hear. And now, so I've muted all, and then I'm going to okay, continue, and I'm going to unmute you, Kelly, because I can, I think. Okay, I'm going to unmute you. There you go. Say again.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. So, so what I do is I work with a lot of service entrepreneurs, a lot of solopreneurs that have trouble getting paying clients because they have trouble communicating their message. So I work in the scope of sales, and I help people develop a sales process specific to their business. So, you know, really developing and honing in on what questions to ask, what they're offering. So it is more of a conversation than a sale. And I love how you say, you know, help, don't sell, because that's really what I do is I teach people how to really engage and connect with your customers so they see that they want to work with you and they're inspired to work with you throughout your process, and also to make it though repeatable is really the main
Perfect
aspect there.
So that's great, and like everybody needs your stuff. I'm sure. So one thing we should do is we should all start putting our Facebook pages in the Facebook group so that we can all like each other's pages and get to know each other by Thursday. So I'll put that in the group, but so don't put it in the chat box here. Let's just put it in the Facebook group so that we can all start to like and share each other's pages as well. So that would be awesome. Great. Is there any other questions for today? Just unmute yourself, or I can unmute you and I think.
Or in the group.
There you go, Lily. What were you going to say?
Sorry, should we put the name of the business Facebook page in the chat box, or
No,
just
in the Facebook group itself.
Facebook page. Okay.
Yeah, ideally that's where everything is going to happen. So Zoom is just for this hour, and I record it and I send you a copy of it. But the whole idea with the Facebook group is to be able to do that. Thank you, Eileen. You're so very kind. So you can message each other during the group, but as soon as this call goes, the chat box goes with it. So yeah, so the Facebook group is going to be the best place to hang out. Awesome. Well, I'm going to call it a day. I'll jump over to the group. I'll share my page. Hopefully you've all liked We Make Stuff Happen, or Make Stuff Happen is on Facebook, and we'll like each other's pages. And I will see you on Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific. And but I'm in the group all the time. So any questions? Eileen's one of our moderators, so she's been around with me a long time. She has a lot of skill and knowledge about what we do, and I have other people in my tribe in the group too. They may not be on the videos because they're working on other projects next door for me, but we'll get you answered very quickly. And no question is too dumb, because believe me, if you're asking it, there's probably half an other people wish they'd asked it, so don't worry about that. And I'm excited to be on this journey with you, my friends. Thank you so much. And we'll see you again on Thursday, 10 o'clock for virtual coffee. Okay, bye for now, everybody. Thanks for coming. Bye.
Bye, everyone.